It's time for another random movie review, and yes, I know it's Christmas, and no, this isn't a Christmas film. It's a slasher film from 2011 called Detention. No snow, no carols, no eggnog, and no Santa. It's just teenagers getting stalked, slashed, stoned, and slaughtered. Get over it. Huh? What do you mean I can still make my review Christmassy despite the lack of a crimbo flick? If I make myself more Christmassy, the review will follow suit. How the hell am I supposed to make myself more Christmassy? Seriously? Detention follows a group of students from Grizzly Lake High as they're stalked by a killer masquerading as Cinderella, a tongue-in-cheek killer from a movie. As the students try to balance their busy lives, what with being hunted down by Cinderella, having to do their homework and making preparations for the school prom, they attend a party where one of their classmates is killed by Cinderella. And this leads the principal of Grizzly Lake High to give them all Saturday detention, where they're not allowed to go to prom unless one of them admits to being the killer. This film is a satire to teenage horror flicks, pretty much in the veins of the Scream franchise, with the characters regularly making fun of horror film cliches. They even have one of the main characters mention the fact that they've been stalked by a fictionalised movie villain means that the police are less likely to believe that she's actually in danger, because that thing only really ever happens in horror films. The film was written and directed by a man called Joseph Kahn, who mainly directs music videos, and considering that this was only his second feature-length film, I have to say he did a pretty decent job. The cinematography for the film is pretty slick throughout, and it's also got some funky camera shots and scene transitions. Did I really just use the words funky and slick? The acting throughout is pretty decent. I mean, yes, some of the characters go a bit over the top, but remember, this is a satire. So yeah, the jock's jockier, the cheerleader's more cheery, and the stoners are stonier? The main stars of the film are Shanley Caswell and Josh Hutchinson, and they play Riley Jones and Clapton Davies, and they do a pretty decent job throughout the whole film. That said, my favourite character in the whole film has to be the football coach, Mr. Cooper, played by James Black. He didn't really have that many scenes, but the ones he was in, he stole. I mean, I just couldn't stop laughing. That guy's funny. Sorry, I don't think this is working. I mean, I don't feel any more Christmassy than I did before I started the video. Are you sure this is how it works? I just don't feel it. I'm going to get a second opinion. There's no way that adding a Santa hat into things automatically increases the Xmas vibes. Really? I'm saying vibes now. Let's have a look. Apparently it works. It says here that by adding snow to a film it becomes an instant classic. Adding sleigh bells to your song makes it a number one. There's no point arguing with the interwebs. Let's get on with the review. Right, back to the review. Where was I? Right, laughing. I was doing that a lot in this film. I mean, the very first scene has a character breaking the fourth wall, which happens a lot throughout this thing. And I was in stitches. And the jokes don't get repetitive either. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And they vary as well. I mean, you've got slapstick in one corner, and then all of a sudden you've got meta humour in the other one. And then you've got some stoner absurdity thrown into the mix as well. On the negative side of the film, though, it is only a 15, which means that there isn't very much gore in the film. And considering it's a slasher film, that's kind of disappointing, and what little blood we do see is pretty much all done with CGI as well, which again is kind of annoying. I know that being a satire and going for the comedy effect, you can kind of forgive it for not having that much gore in it, but still, I did feel kind of disappointed in the whole thing. It does, however, feature Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Hell yeah, it gets some love from me for that, and it also has one of my favourite sayings ever in it, well, fuck a duck. It gets love for that as well. And the time-travelling bear didn't hurt either. Now, would I recommend this film to anyone? Sure. I mean, if you like satires and comedies, and if you like how meta the films like Scream can get, then this film is certainly for you. If, however, you prefer your slashers to be a bit more bloodthirsty and feisty, and a bit more gore-splattered, I'd probably say this film's going to disappoint you, which is a real shame, because the killer Cinderella's costume is really good. Really? Just good? After using words like slick and vibes and funky, I'm surprised I didn't describe her costume as being dope. And for those of you out there that like your films to be a bit more cerebral, then this film is right up your whatsy, because it asks important questions like, who would win in the fight between Patrick Swayze and Steven Seagal? Which decade was better, 80s or 90s? And are the Canadians actually nice? Well, that's all I've got time for really, that's review finished with, and according to the internet, all this Christmas propaganda and paraphernalia should make this video more Christmassy. I wonder if it works for all types of videos though. Right, let's have a look. Wow, he must really like the taste of that candy cane. Doesn't look very hygienic though. but it certainly is more festive a video. I guess it really does work. I guess my video will be Christmassy then. Merry Detention, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hey, now he's making it snow.